Hello everyone. In this video, we would be discussing about the agriculture sector related issues in the rural development as well as the agro and non-agro related issues. So by agriculture sector, we are emphasizing more on improving the production efficiency, sustainability and resilience. At the same time, the emphasis should be more on supporting the market development for bio-based products and processes. For this, we can take the example of fair trade, and we are also focusing on delivering more public goods and ecosystem services. And lastly, the aim should be building a sustainable and competitive agri-food industry. By agro and non-agro sector, we are referring to the issues like unavailability of proper guidance for the entrepreneurs, seasonality of the crops, poor quality of the raw material supplied, failure of monsoon or climate change, and lastly, unavailability of training for modern and sophisticated agro industries. So as all of you would be now able to see the presentation, so the points under the agriculture sector has been listed down here as we already discussed, and there are a few of the points that are under agro and non-agro sector when we are talking about the sectoral issues in rural development, and they are listed accordingly as already discussed. So now I have like jotted down few challenges and priorities. These are the challenges that India needs to address according to the current times, and these are the priorities that needs to be emphasized by India in the coming times. So now let us begin the discussion on the challenges. So when we are talking about the first point, that is raising agricultural productivity per unit of land, you'll need it will need to be the main engine of agricultural growth, as virtually all the cultivable land is farmed. Water resources are also limited, and water for irrigation must contend with increasing industrial and urban needs. All measures to increase productivity will need exploiting amongst them, increasing yields, diversification to higher value crops, and developing value chains to reduce marketing cost. By the second point, when we are talking about reducing rural poverty through a socially inclusive strategy, it comprises both the agriculture as well as the non-farm employment. Rural development must also benefit the poor, landless, women, scheduled caste, and tribes. Moreover, there are strong regional disparities. The majority of India's poor are in rain-fed areas or in the eastern Indo-Gangetic plains. Reaching such groups has not been easy in the past. While progress has been made, the rural population classified as poor fell from nearly 40% in the 1990s to below 30% by the mid 2000. This is a clear need for a faster reduction. Hence, poverty elevation is the central pillar of the rural development efforts of the government and the World Bank. Now, talking about the third point, that is ensuring that the agricultural growth responds to the food security needs. The sharp rise in the food grains production during India's green revolution of the 1970s enabled the country to achieve sufficiency in food grains and stave off the threat of famine. Agricultural intensification in the 1970s to 1980s saw an increased demand for rural labor that raised the rural wages, and together with declining food prices reduced the rural poverty. However, the agricultural growth in the 1990s and 2000 slowed down, averaging about 3.5% per annum, and the cereal yields have increased by only 1.4% per annum in the 2000s. The slowdown in the agricultural growth has become a major cause for concern. India's rice yield are one third of China's and about half of those in Vietnam and Indonesia. The same is true for other agricultural commodities as well. Now, if we focus on the priorities that India need to emphasize in the coming times, the first point is about enhancing agricultural productivity, competitiveness, and rural growth. By this point, we are trying to promote new technologies and reforming agricultural research and extension. Major reform and strengthening of India's agricultural research and extension system is one of the most important needs for agricultural growth. These services have declined over time due to chronic underfunding of infrastructure and operation, no replacement of aging researchers, or broad access to state-of-the-art technologies. Research now has little to provide beyond the time-worn packages of the past. Public extension services are struggling and offer little new knowledge to farmers. There is too little connection between research and extension, or between these services and the private sector. So now coming to the second point, that is about poverty alleviation and community actions. While agricultural growth will in itself provide the base for increasing incomes for the 170 million or rural persons that are below the poverty line, additional measures are required to make this growth inclusive. For instance, a rural livelihood measures are required program or measures that empowers communities to become self-reliant has been found to be particularly effective and well suited for scaling up. This program promotes the formation of self-help groups, increases the community savings, and promotes local initiatives to increase incomes and employment. By federating to become larger entities, these institutions of the poor gain the strength to negotiate better price and market access for their products, and also gain the political power over the local governments to provide them with better technical and social services. Now, lastly, when we are referring to the third point, that is about sustaining the environment and future agricultural productivity, we are basically referring to those times in which in parts of India, the overpumping of water for agricultural use is leading to falling underground water levels. Conversely, waterlogging is leading to the buildup of salts in the soils of some irrigated areas. In rain-fed areas, on the other hand, where the majority of rural population live, agricultural practices need adapting to reduce soil erosion and increase the absorption of rainfall. Overexploited and degrading soil erosion of forest land need mitigation measures. There are proven solutions to nearly all these problems. The most comprehensive is through watershed management programs where communities engage in land planning and adopt agricultural practices that protect soil, increases water absorption, and raise productivity through higher yields and crop diversification. So these are the few challenges and priorities from my end, which I think that are very crucial for all of you to know. So with this, we come to an end where we have extensively discussed about the sectoral issues in the rural development, where we have covered both the agriculture sector related issues and also the agro and non-agro sector related issues in the rural development. And I tried to address the challenges and priorities based on these points only. Hope the concept is clear now. Thank you so much for joining me for this video session. Thank you.